What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. Don't forget, you can find all of my interviews on YouTube at LounginWithTony. There are quite a few of them because we have been in quarantine now for about 4 weeks, and this has been keeping me very busy. Today, I am super excited to get to know and chat with a wonderful actor named Clarence Stewart. You may have known him from Luke Cage or Netflix's What If, but I was introduced to him as Simon on NBC's Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. So let's get John in to chit chat and find out some stuff. Hold on. I feel like I'm going to have to adjust this as always. My curls are really popping today. Thank you, Juices and Berries. I appreciate that. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How's everything been?
I'm chilling, man. Things are great on my end. I've been, today's been a chill day. I did some dancing earlier today. What's up, XO Libby? Other than that, talked to my little brother a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been pretty chill today. Yeah.
Today. Well, yeah, today's been a chill day for me too. I took a walk today. I got my workout on. And now I'm chit-chatting with you. Listen, I'm trying to stay busy during this quarantine because if not, I'm just going to sit around eating pizza and cookies all day.
Look, you know what? Sometimes you need the pizza and cookie days. It just can't be every day. You know what I'm saying?
True. Now, I have had that pizza and cookie day. It was real good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Hell yeah.
So it's so great to actually sit and meet you and talk to you because I was introduced to you through Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which I feel like the show is actually how my life is and how the inside of my brain works because everything is a musical number to me.
Okay, I heard that. I heard that.
What was your initial reaction to the show when you went and auditioned and read the script and things like that?
When I auditioned, I thought that, I auditioned because I loved the concept and I loved the show and I loved the character, Simon. And it connected with me very deeply because of my personal life. And I was like, I have to go in and shoot my shot with this thing. I didn't know, because I haven't auditioned for a musical in a while. And I wouldn't even necessarily say that I'm the most proficient with musicals, you know? But it just so happened that the way that they're doing this show really suited me well. And so when I went in, I did the sides, I sang a song, and I called my mom afterwards, and I was like, Mom, it's probably not going to happen. But, I did my best, and I felt like I was just trying to honor my father, who's passed, in doing it, right? And then I got onto a plane. I was going to go back to New York because I was dating someone in there at the time. And when I was on the plane, my manager called me and was like, hey, they want to see you again. And I was like, oh, for real? She was like, yeah. I was like, I'm on the plane, on the tarmac. And I'm like, so I shouldn't go to New York right now. She was like, no. And I was like, cool. I hung up the phone. I got up and I was like, I have an emergency. I have to get off the plane. And I get up and start walking off the plane. And the stewardess is like, calling. And they get someone to come out and escort me out. And my bags go to New York. I stay in LA. And, I went in again and things kind of worked out from there. Yeah.
Well, good thing you didn't fly back to New York because you would have missed that opportunity.
You're right. And look, man, I ain't trying to do that. Everything happens the way it's supposed to, right?
Exactly. And you were saying how you kind of relate to this character. Obviously, what makes Simon so relatable to you?
I lost my father 13 going on 14 years ago, and when I lost him, it was very sudden. It was out of the blue, and it was very jarring and difficult, and it sent me on this journey of grieving, and that I'm still on. I don't think that it ever quite ends. It just evolves. And when I read Simon's journey and where he's starting from, and what he's going through, specifically being a man and a Black man at that, I resonated with the idea of having to keep the face up and being crushed and broken underneath. and really trying to navigate that space. And that was the thing that drew me to the role. That's why I auditioned for the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it sometimes tough? Because as actors, we always find that place that we need to go to really like pull out a great performance. Is it tough for you sometimes to like, find that spot when Simon is grieving about his father or anything like that on the show? Is it tough for you to go back to that place to really bring out that emotion?
I find that it becomes less and less difficult as time goes on. There's like a strong sensitivity to it in the beginning. Like when we shot the pilot, it was quite difficult
Yeah.
to do some of those things, and it left me feeling quite raw afterwards, actually. But then as we went in and we were continuing shooting the season, I was able to start trusting that all of that experience just lives in me. That
Yeah.
all of that is a well that I have access to readily, and it's
Yeah.
not something that I have to like I don't have to belabor myself with it quite as much. I can trust that it's there, and I
Yeah.
can also trust that I'm enough. That because I've experienced this and I've lived this, there I know this,
Yeah.
so I can
Yeah.
trust myself. You know what I'm saying? Which is another gift that I got with the show. Yeah.
For anyone that's like going through any sort of grieving or anything like that, you don't truly get over it, as you said, but are there any like suggestions that you can give to kind of, I don't want to say like soften the pain, but kind of take the steps forward to like lessening the feeling of grief?
Um, I'm always very, you know, very specific when I talk about grieving because it's so specific. It's like a fingerprint. No one
Yeah.
grieves the same. I
Yeah.
have three siblings and we all grieve differently.
Mhm.
Um, but what I would say is that it's a that it is that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling.
Mhm.
Um, I would also encourage anyone that's going through a process like that. For me, what was helpful, I went to therapy. I started going to therapy the year that my father passed away.
Mhm.
And that was very, very helpful to me. And I had my own thoughts about going to therapy and stuff. Being a black man, I was like, why would I do this? Why would I go to, I'm going to trust you. Even when I went to therapy the first time, I sat down in front of her and I said, look, here's the thing. The only reason I'm here is because I
Mhm.
don't have anyone to talk to and I can sue you if you say anything to anybody. And she looked at me and she was like, haha. And I was like, no, for real.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and she was like, oh, okay, fine, fine, okay. And then I was like, cool. Because I was at this space where the dam was about to burst and I was
Mhm.
disconnecting from my entire life and
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
So I guess the big thing is to reach out for help. You don't have to do it alone or go through it alone, even though it feels that way. Um, Therapists, sometimes if things get really dark, psychiatrists,
Mhm.
it just depends on who you are. Meditation and journaling has also been very helpful for me.
Yeah.
Um, and also this idea of being honest about where I actually am.
Mhm.
Um, I think that it's odd how it works because sometimes it felt like I had to protect the people around me from my pain.
Yeah.
And in having to protect them, I just shoved whatever was real in me down further
Mhm.
until it till it till it started impacting everyone in my life.
Mhm.
Um, so being able to be honest about what's actually going on
Yeah.
and finding the community wherein I can be honest
Mhm.
about what's actually going on and have, not have the people that are trying to fix me or trying to
Yeah.
make me like, not feel the thing that's real. Or even sometimes there's the positivity thought. It was like, manifest you, think yourself out of it, think yourself out of it, think yourself out of it. But there's this idea that it's a journey. Like it would be wonderful if I could go, and I tried. Like after my father passed, I tried. I locked myself in the bathroom and like told myself to my face, like again and again and again, I was like, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. I said that repeatedly over and over again and cried and said it to myself again. So, and I felt like if I said it enough, if I hit that thing enough, then I would like be out of tears and I'd be done and I'd be done grieving.
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So yeah, those are the things that I would say. And to ask for help, like you don't have to go through it alone. You don't have to go through it alone. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, people definitely go through that, differently. I'm someone that always, during like times like that, I become the strong one for everyone else. So sometimes I allow myself to feel those feels in private because I feel like if I show that to anyone, then they can't depend on me and lean on me. So I've always been that person. But I like that you said that it's okay to feel the feels and it's okay to like seek help because I think a lot of people, and especially in the Black community, we have this thing about going to someone that we don't know and telling our business to. You know, I'm from the South, and my mom was always like, "You keep the business in the house. Like, you don't go out there telling all your business to everybody. You keep it in the house. We gonna fix it in here." But sometimes you can't fix it in the house. Sometimes you do have to go out and just talk to someone so that you can figure stuff out, so that you can be mentally better. So,
absolutely. You know, bro, I gotta say, I'm from the South as well. I'm from Georgia.
Yeah.
So like that idea of keeping it in the house resonates very strongly. And also being someone that is the strong one, you know, I think even more so because, you know, I mean, there's a quotation that I've read and it's up on social media all the time. It's like, check on your strong friends.
Yeah.
Check on them, you know, because they're keeping everything together, holding everybody up. And I think that for me, that was why it was so important for me to go to see a therapist.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I felt like I'm carrying this, I'm carrying this, I'm carrying this. And I feel like if I were to let you into what's actually going on, you wouldn't have anyone to take care of you in the way that you need. But I still need help.
Yeah.
Like, and this idea of, you know, I think it's this idea of, you know, let's keep it in the house. We'll fix it in house. We'll fix it in the house. I mean, I love the sentiment of that is to lean on family, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But we only have the tools that we have, and there's nothing right or wrong with that. It's just like sometimes, like my parents didn't have certain tools. And that's not their fault. They grew up, they did the best they could. They're wonderful parents. My mom is incredible. And we don't know what we don't know. So getting out of my comfort zone and meeting someone else who, when I say certain things, can go, oh, these are the vocabulary words that match that thing inside of you.
Yeah.
It's not just that like you're sad and you need to pray it out. That's not it.
Right. Listen, God may knows my heart, but like sometimes, you know, I need a little bit more, something more powerful to come through and relinquish the spirit.
Look, the Lord made the therapist.
Yeah. There you go. The Lord gonna guide me to the therapist that's gonna help me work it out.
Look,
that's what I'm praying for.
Look, Gabriel ain't always gonna come down into my room and say, "Bless you, child. I took it away." Right. That's not gonna.
That's so true. Everything starts off with like, well, let's pray about it. Okay, now listen. I am all about praying, but like at the end of this prayer, I'm still feeling some kind of way.
Yeah.
And so now that prayer needs to change. The Lord needs to guide me to somebody to protect whatever it is that's about to happen.
Yes, it's like I'm praying and then I'm like, okay, this is a great prayer. Awesome. I love it. It's like a meditation. Now, how do I deal with this stuff when it comes up? What do I do with these feelings? Where do I put them? How do I metabolize these things in a way that's not toxic and hurtful to the people I love?
Exactly.
And I'm like, what am I going to, yes, I can stop and pray, but like, even as I'm stopping and praying, maybe I'm just disconnected from the people around me. I don't know. Maybe I'm abandoning people. I don't know. There's got to be some more. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about this in particular. Yes.
I love it. Because especially living in LA, sometimes you need something stronger than a Bible scripture or prayer or guidance or something. You got to. There's too many feels that's going on. So
yeah, I think I think that sometimes we think of things in such a, at least I have thought about things in such a binary way. I've been like, well, it's this and this and nothing else, and this and nothing else. But it's the same way that I feel about, it's going to sound maybe like I'm minimizing, but it's not my intention. It's the same way I feel about acting in different techniques. Like I take and I pull from a lot of different things. I pull from a lot of different things and I find the thing that works for me. The same thing when it comes to wellness and well-being. I find different things and I experiment with different things, and there are certain scriptures that do land in me. There's certain times I do pray. There's certain times that I'm not praying, I'm meditating. There's certain times when I'm journaling. Certain times I go to a therapist and I'm like, hey, I've been doing this for a while. This is the facts. Help me out. And they all fit.
Yeah.
They all fit.
Yeah. How did you get into acting?
What story do you want?
Whichever one that's in your spirit right now. Because I still remember when my dad told me that I should be an actor. And I was super young. I remember in the bathtub, I had every single toy that I owned in the bathtub. And I was creating scenes and voices and characters and storylines and all that kind of stuff. And my dad stood there. He was like, you should be an actor. And I was like, that's what it is. That's what I'm going to be.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That story is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, now
your turn.
I'm like, that story is incredible. Tell me more. He's like, this is not about, like, shut up and answer the question. So for me, I mean, I grew up similarly. I spent a lot of time alone at the house, and I would spend a lot of time in my room, and I'd play with my fingers, and I'd do like finger wars, and I'm like, like all this stuff, right? I would do that stuff as a kid all the time. So much so my mom would be like, she'd open the door, and she'd be like, John, who else is in here? And I'm like, just me. And she's like, this child is bad shit. No, she wouldn't say that. It's a chopper. No. No.
That's definitely pew pew pew.
It's a 22. No, I'm joking. I'm done. So I was doing that for some time, and I got into a youth ministry when I was younger, and we did like youth like conferences. And I did some terrible hip hop dancing in these youth conferences. This was the move. This was like the only move that we did.
Listen, as long as you were like pumping it and giving it,
praising the Lord and like trying to, we're like Jesus, hitting that. And so that happened. But then what really got me into it was I saw my big sister do a play my junior year in high school. And my senior year, I followed a friend of mine to an audition. I walked with him. I didn't like trail him. I was like walking with him to the audition. And I went in and the teacher asked me if I sang, and I said no. And she kind of pressed me and was like, happy birthday? And I was like, who don't know happy birthday? And I was like, yes. And so I sang happy birthday, and she was like, you're in the show. And I was like, she was like, and so he's like, got him. And so I did my first play, Once on This Island, in high school. And after that, I went to a school in South Georgia and auditioned for a scholarship there. And I got like the smallest scholarship that they offered. And I was like, okay, I guess it's going to be acting for now. Yeah, that was the mindset. And then as I did it and continued to do it, I fell in love with it. It was this, for me, acting was the way that acting was like the way to my personal evolution, as like a human being. Because there are a lot of ways, like some of the ways that I grew up were very dogmatic. I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor, like all of this stuff. And in acting, I had to connect with the humanity in everyone. So I had to find the through lines. And I also got to see that I am capable of anything just like anybody else. There's nothing that separates me really from another person other than given circumstances. That's it. And that kind of really made me fall in love with the craft and art of storytelling.
I mean, I was that kid who used to perform for any reason. If it was Earth Day, I was performing for whoever.
Earth Day?
Earth Day. Yeah. Yeah.
You got like recordings. You must have pictures.
Find
it.
There are recordings. There are recordings.
Instagram can definitely take recordings.
Absolutely not. First of all, they are on VHS, and I'm pretty sure it was me learning how to film myself, like, performing. Yeah,
that's hella cute.
And listen, I promise you I printed out a program so that everyone knew what songs I would be performing.
Oh.
And there were costume changes. I was serious. Yeah.
You were for real.
Oh,
How old were you? What was the age?
This was I was like 12, 13.
Damn, yo.
Yeah.
That is. So you wanted to do this for a long time.
I did. Yeah. I wanted to. In the early stages, it was like I wanted to perform because I just loved entertaining and like making people feel good and stuff like that. And then my dad introduced me to the word of acting, and then ever since then, that was like my path. I was like, it's just in me to do this. Yeah.
So, what makes you still want to do it?
For me, it's being able to take one's mind off of whatever it is that they're going through and make them laugh or make them just feel something different than whatever it is that they're feeling before they come to a show.
So something about it as a form of like escape in a certain way into a world, even where did that come from? The idea of it being an escape.
I think movies and musicals and plays for me were always an escape. It was always a way to journey into someone else's world and experience whatever the story is through that character's eyes.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that's why because I still draw inspiration from like going to plays and musicals and watching shows and stuff like that. Because sometimes it's just an escape from my own life, and sometimes I can input myself into their situation and pull something out of it. So,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, the first musical I ever saw was Hello Dolly, and I was like, "Ooh, I really want to do this." Now, the girl who was in the front kick line, I thought she was gonna kick me because I was sitting in the front row, and she had did a high kick, and I was like, "Ooh," and I was like, "Be careful now." And then the first show I ever auditioned for was Oklahoma. I didn't get it.
Okay.
However, I practiced I don't know what the move is called, but you know how the Cowboys do like the side kick, like the ha. Yep. I could not do that at the audition. However, when I got home, I said to myself, I am going to do this. I did not do it because I ended up on the floor. However, I tried. I think the time that I kind of clicked the heels, I ended up on the floor and I said, you know what, I'm good. Oklahoma's just not for me. I'm just gonna wait for something.
Your spirit guy was like, let him do it. Let him click.
And I was this short little chubby kid, like thinking like, huh? Yeah, no. So yeah, the journey of acting has been a quite interesting one.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that, man. I love how it was like an impetus for you to like try this discipline on your own. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
And I luckily, I had parents who just allowed me to explore. And it's like, if this is what you want to do, then do it. And
Mm,
I remember, at that age, just reading books on how to get into the industry and what a headshot was and what a resume looked like.
nice.
And this was like the dawn of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a woman who owned an agency here in Los Angeles who was kind of like my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And I would send her like my pictures and resume. She would tell me how to fix it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, at a young age, I was like, we gonna make this happen.
Damn.
If you're not gonna sign me up for the acting class, then I'm gonna tell you where to write the check for, and then we gonna go.
Dang, is that like a trend in your life? Like that you're like kind of about the bit, like you're about it. Like whatever it is, you're about it, you're a doer, you get shit done, you go and handle it.
Oh yes,
Got it.
100%. Hence why during this quarantine, I started this because I was like, I have to keep my creative juices going and not sit here every day eating pizza and cookies like I really want to.
Ooh,
But
I see you. You're
I need
denying
to like,
yourself.
I need to do stuff, you
I hear
know?
you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
totally.
So back to Zoe.
What's up?
What is it like filming those dance sequences? Because for me, it's like two things are happening. The real world is still happening, but yet Zoe is watching these performances happen, and of course you're performing for people who are supposed to not pay attention, but
Hmm.
Zoe's paying attention. So
Hmm.
how is it to film those scenes?
I mean, they're very honestly, it takes a lot of rehearsal, one.
Hmm.
Um, for me, it takes a lot of rehearsal and a lot of drilling on my own time. Um, but once we get it and it's in the body, it's pretty freeing, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're able to, the way that we shoot it is we have the rehearsal process, and then that's maybe like 2 days, but not
Hmm.
full days, like an hour and a half here, an hour and a half here, an hour and a half there, maybe like 30 minutes another time, and we're crafting what it is. We do different versions, and we send, and Mandy, who's incredible, as we're
Yeah.
rehearsing it, she's with her own phone, she's like testing out camera angles as
Hmm.
we're doing it. So
Hmm.
she sends all of those, and call those like a previs. So they send those previs to the producers and to Austin, and they're looking at everything and they're like, okay, what do we like? What do we like? What do we like? Sometimes Austin will come into the room and add his input.
Hmm.
Um, but then when we get to set on the day, you have whatever time you need to warm up. Usually it's just you get there early, you do your own thing, show up on set, you rehearse. Then Bradley, our camera op, he's choreographing, we're choreographing him into everything. And
Yeah.
so once
Yeah.
we do all that, then we do a full-on rehearsal. And then after you do the full-on rehearsal, we put everything up, all the lights and stuff like that, and then we shoot it, which
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Like the past couple of episodes, there has definitely been some vulnerability with Simon, and especially last night. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who hasn't watched it yet, but you should have probably watched it already because all the episodes are great. But the revisit of Mad World and you being in the kitchen and like
You just spoiled
doing
it.
uh that, that's not really a spoiler, is it? Because I
You
didn't
just
like.
you just told them the entire story.
I just say you was in the kitchen doing Mad World. Like, that's not, they don't know why. They don't know who's thinking. They
You're
don't know
right.
where
You're
you
right.
at.
They don't know where I could be at Maggie's house.
You could it could have been at the job, and you needed to eat. And
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're
see,
right. You're
I'm
right. You're absolutely right. Who am you? Right.
I'm just describing a specific moment
Hmm.
in the episode without telling the outside stuff
I got
that
you.
goes in.
My bad. I
See,
apologize. I stand corrected. I
see,
stand
because
corrected.
see, you already know the before and the after of what happened, but see, now people are gonna look forward to you in the kitchen. They know that you're doing Mad World again.
They're gonna be
Um,
like, when is he gonna be in the kitchen?
See, and then
That's
when they
it.
put all the pieces together, it's gonna be a
Boom.
whole.
Then it's like, pew, 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 pew.
It's a chopper.
It's, well played. You brought it back. Well played. You brought
See,
it. Yeah.
see. Um, but watching you do that last night, I
Yeah.
was just like, this is such a vulnerable moment in the way that, in the choreography and the body movement and stuff like that. I was like, bravo, like you're doing it. If you didn't consider yourself a dancer before this, you are.
No, thank you, bro. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And
Ugh.
and what's interesting about the character of Simon, which by the way, I'm Team Simon. Like,
I have no team. I'm not on any teams. I'm Team Zoe.
okay. But
Not taking her back.
all right. But but
Cool.
it's like I feel like if Simon was played any other way, we're supposed to not like him because it's
Hmm.
like it's kind of like wait you have a fiance, but like we can tell that you falling for Zoe and like you doing too much. Y'all in the meditation room and that's too like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I still feel like you kind of the way that Simon is portrayed, you kind of feel for him and you kind of understand the thought process and that nothing that he's doing is malicious. It's just how he's feeling and
Mm.
like what he's putting out there, but he's also ensuring that no one gets hurt.
Mm. Well, to the best of his ability, which
Yeah,
also means that, you know, you don't you're not successful all the times. You're not
yeah,
successful.
yeah.
Um, and the truth about life is that sometimes people do get hurt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's another thing that I love about the show is that they don't shy away from that. The writers don't
Yeah.
shy away from the complexity of that. I gotta say, you know, that's probably the thank you one, and it's a massive. I received that deeply. I appreciate that. I think that I empathize with Simon a lot. One, because I'm playing him, and I don't like to demonize any character that I'm playing. I think
Yeah.
they all have their justification, their point of view, their why, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And with Simon, I think that one, I've been in situations that are similar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and two, it's not about honestly, it's not about the optics, you know. It's not
Yeah.
about the optics and what it looks like on the outside for me as the actor. It's about, what the drive and the motivation is and his why. And his
Mm-hmm.
why is he's seeking connection in whatever form that comes in because he feels so unseen and unknown. Um, and that seeking connection leads him to different people, leads him down the path of actually like down to the next stage of grieving because there's like the
Yeah.
dying, so it leads him onto the next stage of grieving, which also means that healing is very rarely. I saw this, what is it, a GIF or a meme or a TikTok video? I don't know what the fuck it is. It's one of those videos. It's like, but it was like you thought that your awakening was gonna be like roses and sunshine and meditation and all of this stuff, but really it's like confronting your shadow and like looking at like all of these different things that have been
Mm-hmm.
not helpful over the years. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of right now. Simon, I think, is in this space where he's going to have to confront his shadow,
Yeah.
like, and inviting Zoe over to his crib. I just messed up. I just said that. But and doing things that, whatever. Inviting Zoe over to the crib is like
Yeah. Well,
him
that
trying
was a
to,
few weeks ago. That's fine.
yeah, like trying to avoid the shadow, trying to
Yeah.
avoid being alone, trying to
Yeah.
avoid, So yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Of course. And I love the dynamic with between Zoe, Jane, and my friend Alex Newell, who plays Mo. Like, first of all, I talked to Alex a few weeks ago, and I was like, Mo is you. Like, you are like, I don't even think you're playing it. Like, it's just you in this world, which I absolutely love, and I think he's like super talented and like can sing his entire face off. Like, he just gets on my nerves with like the notes and stuff that he hits. But the way that you all work together, I think, is something great. And it's I don't know, and everyone in this show really plays their parts very well and definitely adds to the story. And I think this journey that as we're watching this, we feel all the feels and we understand what each character is going through, and especially through like the music, you know, that Zoe is experiencing. Like it's this musical journey that we're going through, and we're like, okay, like now I understand like how this person feels. So I mean, bravo to all of y'all. It's such a good show. Like, I fell in love with it episode 1. I was like, this is it. I'm watching every week. This is my life. I get it, and I'm here for it.
That's amazing. There's very, very few things that are better than that. You know, when you watch it, like when you hear that when someone watches a show and it lands in them in a certain way, and they're on the ride, you know. And to affirm what you said about Alex, like, you know, incredible singer, incredible performer, incredible entertainer, and an incredible actor. Like, incredible actor. Like, comedic timing for days, and the ability to drop into this very vulnerable and raw space with this groundedness that's really phenomenal. You know, it's very powerful to watch him do his work, you know. I gotta say. Yeah.
But and then this show,
Carrie Couch, what's up?
Oh, do you know Carrie?
I know Carrie. Yeah.
Shut up. I know Carrie too.
I know she says the 200 people in the same place right here. That's crazy.
That's Carrie. When she lived in LA, we used to dance together because I used to host this show called Posers, and we would put on dance performances and we would dance together.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild. Carrie.
Small world.
This is like, what is this world that we are in right now? This is that virtual shit. Like, this is community. Like, I don't care. You had Christmas together? Yes. Why are you leaving that out?
Huh?
Why are you leaving that out? I need.
Listen, I was trying to give like the condensed version of like, you know, I didn't want to go through the whole like trajectory.
No, I want the whole cycle of water. I want the condensation. I want the precipitation. I want the whole cycle of water. I want it to evaporate. I want it to go up into the clouds. I want it to accumulate, and I want it to come down. I want the whole thing.
And she just said Thanksgiving. Okay, listen, Carrie, forgive me. Bro. Listen, I'm at an age now where, like, sometimes you got to remind people with, like, what's happening.
Carrie.
But okay.
Go ahead.
But this show, Zoe, reunited Jane, because you and Jane worked together on What If as well, right? Talk about that show, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen it. It looks great, but I haven't seen that one yet. Talk about that show, What If.
Well, What If is it's like a thriller. It's a thriller. It's not like a thriller. It is a thriller. It's a moral dilemma thriller. And the beautiful thing about it is you have these characters, and all of them are facing this big question. What if they do this, or what if they do that? And you get to see each of their story arcs play out depending on the choice they made. And it's pretty non-discriminatory, and they take it to they take it all over the place, which is wonderful. Yes, it is a crazy show. And Jane is phenomenal. She's phenomenal in What If. She's phenomenal in Zoe's. She carries that thing like beautifully. And most of my scenes were with my friend Juan Castano and Derek, and it was wonderful working with them. They were just you know, two incredible actors, incredible human beings. And I had like maybe in the whole season, I maybe had like 2 scenes with Jane, and each time she's just incredible, you know?
Yeah.
Now the way that she's the reason that Zoe happened for me, honestly. Like
Oh, really?
we were all out having drinks, and we were supposed to go to like Tin Can Tony's or some shit like that in the valley, some like square dancing place. And I got there and that shit was closed down. And I was like, y'all got me fucked up. I'm out here like.
Oh, wait. You mean All Can Harry's?
Okay, Harry's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were gonna all go to Ork and Harry's and like do this like, you know, line dancing situation.
Yeah.
Normally, bruh, I'm an introvert. I spend so much time alone at home. So I'm at home and I'm chilling, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go do this. You want to come?" And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, and I'm intentionally like, "John, you need to be in community. You need to stretch outside of your comfort zone. Go."
Yes.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I go, and I get there, and Ork and Harry's is closed down. So I'm like, well, nobody told me this place was closed down. The fuck? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And then we all end up going to this bar down the street, and we're all talking. And while we're talking, Jane is like, I'm working on this show, and we're looking for this role. And then Summer, who is an actor in What If, is an incredible actor. He was like, John, don't you sing? And I don't know how we got this information. Maybe I said it in passing one time, but he was like, John, don't you sing? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, John, you sing? And I said, yeah. And then she was like, boopity, 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 boop, into her phone. And I was like, that's
what you doing?
That's like, I wanted to ask, but I'm like, nah, let's leave that alone. The next night, my agent reaches out to me, and my agent is like, John, you sing? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. She was like, okay. Then like a few hours later, they sent me the audition. And I know that Jane put my name in the hat, which is why I was there, because they were looking for the role of Simon for a long time, I think.
See,
yeah.
That's this world. Like we all have to help each other. We all have to, you know, be there for each other. Now, you didn't put that at the bottom of your LA casting or Actors Access that you sing?
Nah, bro. Like I said, here's the thing. I have friends who sang.
Right.
Like I have a lot of friends who sang down. And not even just in one kind of way. I have people who in my life who sing more rock, more gospel, more musical theater, people who can do it all, people who do very specific things. And for me, a lot of my journey as a vocalist has been accepting my voice. Has been accepting and loving my tone and the way that I sound and the way that I make sound. And actually working on I did Choir Boy, not the iteration on Broadway, but I did the previous iteration, like 2014, understudied at Manhattan Theater Club, like back in the day. And during that process, the musical director, Jason Michael Webb, he was very instrumental in like, I mean, I started singing, and we were supposed to be doing these gospel songs, and I went in there like, he said, we're not doing that.
Time out.
I was like, what? He was like, no, like that, no, that's not this. Like, just sing, just speak, just like, what is, and that started getting me, it took me on the journey of getting in touch with my voice and what I sound like. But even then, you know, comparison is a bitch, you know, so I'm always, and so I didn't put it on my resume. I was reluctant to tell agents about it because I'm like, you know, tell them about something that I think I'm an actor. That's it. I'm an actor. But I think I talked to Summer about singing, because I also write music, but it's like, so I talked to Summer about it and he brought it up and I felt kind of exposed, honestly. I felt like, like he brought it up and she was like, you do? And then I was in this moment, I was like, yes. And I was like, what the fuck did I say that? Like, and I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, well, now, and then I read the script and I was like, I have to do this. Like, I have to go in for this. This is, you know, I don't sound like everybody. Right. If my voice is sufficient for this, then I have to go in for it. And it just so happens that everything worked out, which I'm grateful for. See,
it's a good thing you told him, because if not, when y'all went out, Jane won and then we.
Look, it would be some other person's face. You'd be talking to somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. I may not have known that person, and we wouldn't be talking about Simon.
You
So,
what if they cut Simon?
but-
And then also the reality, they're like, this ain't working. We're gonna let
right.
this man. We're gonna let this go. I don't know, man. We're gonna make Simon like Simon Simonetta. We're gonna make
We just got to change all of this.
yeah,
We
we
just
just
got to go away with it.
yeah,
No,
bro.
it's like because when I was growing up, I wanted to be a singer until my fifth grade teacher told me to stick to acting because I guess I just did not have the vocals of a singer. Um, and just like maybe a year or so ago, randomly, my agent sent me on an audition for the Michael Jackson musical to play Michael Jackson. And I said, "You are out of your mind, but fine, I'll go." And they gave me the highest song to sing, which was Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. And I went in there. The whole audition was a mess.
Uh-huh.
Because one, I walked in with like the Michael Jackson, the way you make me feel look. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I want to dress up as Michael. And then like I had my little curl. So like I took this one curl and like did it like this so
I
that
bet you did. I bet you
so I could
did.
really get into it.
Uh-huh.
And like the acting part, I was like, I got it. Like I had his voice, his mannerism. And they were like, do you want to sing? And I was like, okay. I mean, if I have to. And so the little piano man started playing and he went, da-da, and I was like, oh, that's when I come in. Got it. And from there, it was just a blur. Like, I think I hit the note.
You hit
In my
it.
mind, I feel like I hit it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I didn't hear back from him. So what's that story?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think that all the good things in life happen on the other side of our comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
And quite frequently, um, I mean, I saw Carrie, she just posted Falsetto for the Gods, T. So I'm like, you must, like, there's a voice, and
Hmm.
I feel like, shame on the people who say to actors and people and others, executives, like, hey, pick your lane, stay in your lane. Like,
Right.
pick your lane, stay in your lane. You don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And
Hmm.
I'm like, why not integrate them all? Why not bring everything to the table? Because they all influence one another anyway. Why
True.
limit oneself,
Yeah.
And if you're able to, here's the thing, you must have hit the note. You must have been able to do it because you went in there and you knew what you were doing.
True.
So
I mean, in my mind, like, I don't, because no one else had heard me do it until I got there. So I'm assuming I sounded like the song, but I don't know. You know what the most important thing is? I walked out feeling great. I said, you went in there, you did it, and I feel fine no matter what came about. Nothing came about, but no matter what came about, I walked out feeling great.
well, absolutely, I love that. I think that we, like, after the Zoe's audition, I called my mom and was like, it's probably not going to happen, but I feel like I did myself proud.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, baby. My mom doesn't sound like that at all. But she doesn't sound like that at all. But like, that's whenever I mimic my mom's voice, that's what I say. Like, all right, baby. I don't know why I give my mom that voice.
Your
But
mama gonna call you one day and say, now look,
no,
I
look
haven't
at
told you this, but you ain't gonna keep making me sound like that, okay?
okay, baby. My mom was like, hello. I'm like, people meet my mom and they're like, John, your impression of your mom is terrible.
Horrible. Horrible.
But I'm gonna do a live with my mom later this week. But she would, like, telling her and being like, I did my best, and all I
Yeah.
can do, if I do everything in my control, then I can walk out with my head held high.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, everything else is out of my hands. If it's the right fit, if it's, I mean, I've had auditions where, like, I I thought I did my best and things went well, and they were like, you just don't look like the person we want.
Yeah.
Like, you just literally don't look like it. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about that.
I can't
Like,
change that.
I can't get taller. I can get darker, but like not in that amount of time, and probably not as dark as you want me to get. So like, so actually, like, if I'd have known that like that's what you wanted, I wouldn't even have auditioned. Because
But
like,
you know what?
colors are the thing.
You go in there and win the room, because it might not be that audition, but it could be something else that you'll be perfect for.
You're right. And they'll be like, that guy, he came in and he wasn't even right, but he had a good heart.
That's what it is. Okay, so before Instagram cuts us off, because apparently lives only happen for an hour, and I can talk longer than an hour, but I also don't want to keep you all day on the live.
I got you.
We're going to play a game. It's going to be called John's Playlist. And I'm going to ask you certain questions, and you have to give me the song that relates to this specific mood.
Okay, go.
Okay. I'm a professional. I'm prepared. Okay. Song that describes your current mood.
My current mood?
Mm-hmm.
Current mood would be Skywalker, Miguel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Song that,
got it.
I was gonna take the time to look it up later, because it wasn't coming to me right away. I was like, you know what, Skywalker Miguel. I'll go back and look it up.
Yeah. There you go. Sometimes when I don't remember the lyrics, I just baby babble. That's what I do. Go continue.
I mean, listen, that's like, for me, that's like any Janet Jackson song. I have no idea what she says in the verse, but in the chorus, I can work it out.
You're like, baby, that back, baby, that back, and
Bam. Yep, every time.
hit me.
All right, a song that describes your love life. I know mine.
All by myself. So
Stop, because that was mine, but it's the Celine Dion version.
It's the Celine Dion version.
That's
either that, or I Can Do Bad All by Myself, or Being Alive from Company.
Okay. I'm mad that you took mine originally, but it's fine. I can share. A song for your mood after an audition.
It depends on the audition. There's this Kid Cudi song. I think it's called Immortal, and he has this line in it, and he's like, "I am the smartest man alive." That's what he says. So it's like, sometimes before I do things, I listen to that, and after it's over, I'm like, encourage yourself. Build yourself back up, bro. I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm worthy.
Okay, so then
I'm worthy.
if you book the job, song that describes your mood after you book a job.
I don't know why this song is coming in. To Overjoyed, Stevie Wonder, and Never Would Have Made It.
Okay. By who?
It's just like, never would have made it without you. I would have lost it all.
Yep.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Song for eating your favorite food that describes you eating your favorite food.
There's a song from A New Brain called Eating Myself Up Alive. I'm eating myself up alive. Eating myself up alive. Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's pretty much me. A song for when you just need to cry. We need to let it out.
There's so many of those. Okay. I love these songs. So Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. That's one. Another song is Fare Thee Well, but from the soundtrack Inside Llewyn Davis. Another one is songs The Sickness Unto Death, which is by this like band called like CPR or some shit like that. It's a dope ass band. Or there's a song, I have a lot of these. We can keep going. I have a lot of these songs. Not that, I mean, I'm not crying all the time, you know what I mean? But I do have these songs.
Yeah, I have certain songs that make me cry for certain reasons. Like if it's about love, there's a song that's that. If it's about life, then there's a song about that. If I just need to cry, then there's a song for that.
What's your need to cry song?
I feel like, well, the first one that comes to mind is Mariah's theme, Can't Take That Away. No, I'm not gonna, nope. You almost tried to make me sing it because the way you was looking off, you was almost like wanting me to sing it. And I started to, and then I realized what my fifth grade teacher said, and I'm not gonna go there. But you looked that one up. Can't Take That Away, Mariah's theme from the Rainbow album. And there's always a specific part that I always cry at.
Can you just like sing the specific part though?
Absolutely not.
Y'all, I think you should sing the specific part. You be forgetting that we in Community right now. Community, get him.
No, because it's like the key change almost. And you know, Mariah is already high, so if you hear my voice, it's very Toni Braxton range, and so I can't get up to that.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah. So and see, now you're encouraging everybody talking about singing. Oh wait, okay.
Y'all, give him grace. I don't know the song. I can't sing it with him. I don't know it. No, they're trying to spin it on me. They're trying to tell me to sing. They ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna catch me slipping. Y'all better record. Y'all better download. No.
I'm gonna have you go look it up. Oh wait. Oh, Instagram is already giving me a countdown.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we got time for.
All right.
Okay. Well, John,
it's good to meet you.
It was great meeting you. I'm gonna keep up with you, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
That's about to end.
Okay. Love to all y'all. Tony, you are such a bright light, bro. Thank you for the work that you're doing.